What's up, you damn gorgeous and beautiful gamers? Welcome back to role-playing games. This is Mariel Corner in the internet, where we like to discuss about RPGs. If you like the content, if you like to have these conversations with Mariel James, I would very much like to invite you, like always, to hit the like button, because it really helps me, like you have no idea. Also, most of the people who watches my content are in fact not subscribed to my channel, so what are you waiting for? We finally had the chance to try the DioField Chronicle. To begin this video, I'm just going to talk about my impressions, how I feel about the game, and just a huge spoiler alert, it's amazing. I just cannot stop playing this thing. So there are 3 points that I want to start the discussion with this game, as to show you or to try and convince you if you should or should not get this game, if this game is for you or not. So first and foremost, what the hell is this game? This game, it's kind of a hybrid genre. It's a hybrid between a real-time strategy game and tactical game, all in all, a diorama tactical game. So what is a diorama? That's where I want to start the discussion, because, you know, while I do love Final Fantasy, I have never been such a huge fan of dioramas in games. A diorama, it's basically this ground template where you can place something on top of it to represent a battle or a scenery or a piece of history. You can place anything on top of a diorama. And honestly, it's more of a niche thing. It's more of a collectionist thing. I am not that fond of dioramas, but I know that people that are. I know that people are. So when it comes to Final Fantasy Tactics, the people that enjoy dioramas, they feel some attachment to the diorama setting. Me personally, I am not saying that I do not enjoy Final Fantasy Tactics. I love Final Fantasy Tactics, but I always felt a little bit off with the diorama setting, because when I play games, I like to feel immersed in a game. In a diorama, it's always reminding you that that's artificial, because you have your ground template and then nothingness around it. You're always being reminded that it's just a game. Opposite, for example, Fire Emblem, I am quite a bit biased. I do love more Fire Emblem more than Final Fantasy Tactics, but what I liked about Fire Emblem is that you are this omniscient strategy that has the power over the battlefield. It is a video game, it is still artificial, but if the story is good and the gameplay is amazing, you can definitely feel like this strategist, and they try to build that with the narrative as well. That is why I do not like dioramas that much. That is not to say that I do not enjoy the games again. What I'm trying to say in here is that the DioField Chronicle actually takes the idea of a diorama and enhances it in a way that everybody can enjoy it. You have the diorama, yes, of course, but the main strategy, when you are that omniscient strategist trying to fight off the waves of enemies, you are still there in the battlefield, and there's scenery around, and that scenery is immersive. And the art style of this game, it's such a huge gift to the eyes, which is what I want to discuss later. Going back to the discussion about what this game is, so that is where they took a risk. They took a huge risk with these games. When they make hybrid games, more often than not, we are always left with this sensation of, are they going to leave something so special about one genre behind to compensate for other? Will they be able to merge the games in a intrinsically way that it feels diluted perfectly into one specific product? In this case scenario, we have real-time strategy battles. The more prominent example of that would be Age of Empires 2, and then the diorama tactical game, which is the most prominent example, would be Final Fantasy Tactics. They take these two ideas and merge them into one. And oh boy, did they manage to actually build a beautiful game without leaving anything behind. You have the isometric kind of view, the omniscient view of a strategist that's fighting the enemies. Real-time strategy games, the pause option, more often than not, it's that. It's just an option that you have, but you do not feel compelled to actually use it. If I put an example, again, Dragon Age 1 and Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition, you can go through those games without pausing a single time, because it's something optional to you. You as a player, you have the choice to pause the game and be more strategic, or to be more on the real-time action and just enjoy the battle as it's flowing and use your skills without having to micromanage everything. So if they merge the tactics and the real-time strategy battles, did they manage to actually merge it in a way that makes sense? They did. And in this case scenario, I am going to tell you that it is mandatory that you do micromanaging of your actions. They took away the option, but I feel that they did it in the right direction. They did it in the right way. All of those games that I mentioned before, they are aimed for a specific public that we give you those options. If you want to micromanage, that's on you. That's entirely on you. If you want to, you can, but you don't have to. So they are approaching both publics that like to micromanage, the ones that just like to be right there in the action. With DioField Chronicle, what I like about it is that while it is mandatory to micromanage all of the actions that you have going in the battlefield, it never feels tiresome. It never feels like a chore. Actually, the battles, they are very short, and you will finish mini missions, the main missions, in just 4-6 minutes, and it won't feel like you feel wanting more. You can micromanage the actions, you can go through the battlefield, select your options, select your skills, and if you manage them properly, you will definitely finish the battles as soon as possible. That is not to say it is kind of easy, but that is not to say that being that the case, the game is not challenging whatsoever, because you also have to do micromanaging on your stamina, on your mana, on your health, and all of the resources that you will find around the map, from battle, and the units and the skills. But it never feels like it's forcing you or prolonging the battles more than they should be. If you manage well your skills, you can approach a battle, use 1 or 2, 3 skills for each one of your classes, and it's done, and you're ready to move on to the next one. But if you do not use them properly, you can waste resources, and you can be left in a tough spot where you don't have that much tools to fight the next battles. So yes, I hope that I explained it as best as possible to you, but what I am trying to say is that they took all of the elements from both genres and they feel like they should be where they should be. This game has me tied to my chair, playing on and on and on, and I do not want to stop, because it's just that good, and it's something so very rare to happen when they mix genres and they manage to keep the assets, and they manage to keep all of the tools, and they manage to keep all of the soul from those games in a one specific product that merge both of the genres, and it works. This is it. It's just such a good of a game. When it comes to the art style, that might be a personal bias, but when I look at those characters, the setting is this kind of modern medieval setting, but you can also feel the Victorian vibe. The outfits of the characters, they are emulation of British characters, but the way they look, the way their armors are designed, when you see them in-game, in cutscenes, and you actually do get to see them and to be around with them, and you recognize them in the battlefield. Something that I do not like to happen in these games is that they do not allow you to customize your characters. Something that I did not enjoy with King Arthur, A Knight's Tale, where the base template for the knights were already there and you cannot change the color of the armors, the gear of the knights. When it comes to XCOM, for example, I like to swap my character's gear to make them be more attached to me. In this case, I have nothing to say. I mean, the characters are always going to have their very own outfits that you see them at the beginning of the game, but they are just so well made and they feel the setting so well that they have this personality. You have your assassin, you have your knight, you have your mage, you have the archer, dude. The goddamn knight archer. It's my favorite. The personality that these characters have, they make you feel attached to them as soon as you begin to play They are straightforward, they are not grey characters with different tones, they have their specific template like it happens with most JRPGs, but I enjoy them so much. I feel attached to my characters and I feel like I do want to get to know them better. So, that is pretty much everything that I had to say about this game. As a conclusion, just to wrap up the video, as a final thought, I can best describe this game as something that I cannot stop playing, that I do not want to stop playing. A game that had me be afraid of it. I was actually afraid of this game because once I knew that they were merging genres, I was kind of skeptical if they were going to keep the main assets that each genre has, and they did. This game has a soul, it has a personality. I can very well see this game being a classic, and I hope that more people gets their eyes upon this game because it's so goddamn good. Let me know your opinions. What do you think about this game in the comments below, and I'll be seeing you goddamn gorgeous and beautiful people in the next one. Remember that in all that's told you today that you're a gorgeous and beautiful person. You're indeed a gorgeous and beautiful person. And that remember to like the video and subscribe before you close the door. I'll be seeing you goddamn gorgeous and beautiful people in the next one. Have a beautiful day and goodbye.